Is Tesla's $630 stock price with a PE ratio of 650 a good buy right now? 650 PE ratio. That's insane. Or is it? Hey guys, welcome to Curious Pejjy, and I'm curious. I'm curious to know if Tesla's stock price is a great buy right now. And if I or you invest in Tesla stock right now, how much would it be in the next 5 to 10 years? In other words, is Tesla gonna make us rich and make us buy those Lambos that we always wanted or not? It's a simple question. So after researching and putting a lot of hours into this prediction, I made a wonderful, easy to read and understandable Excel spreadsheet that pretty much predicts what the stock price will be every year up until the year of 2030. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, this prediction, this analysis did take a lot of time from just finding the right research and information, because there's a lot of predictions out there from analysis, from companies, like for example, ARK Invest, and you got Chicken Genius, all these guys and institutions making these decisions. And all the information was all over the place. I mean, it wasn't as simple as like Amazon was, which by the way, if you guys haven't watched that video, check it out. But you'll see exactly what I mean when we go and do the prediction together. Now, before we get into it, there's a few disclaimers that you guys should know. Am I a financial advisor? No. Can you rely on this video in making the choice of buying Tesla stock or not? Definitely. I would say yes, because all information and stats and facts came from solid data. So nothing came right up my ass. Can you guys use this video as research against Tesla? Yes, you can. Do I personally own any Tesla shares? I own about 20 shares of Tesla. Should you guys like this video, you guys should definitely smash the like button because it'll help me a lot. And if I or you subscribe, will there be more videos like this? Oh heck yeah, we're gonna have a whole tons of videos like this coming up. I have a whole list actually, but we have other cool things coming up as soon as I go back home. Yeah, I'm stuck abroad, guys, but that's for a whole different video. So most of us know what Tesla is, and I say most because there are some people out there that I do talk to that they have no idea what Tesla is, whether because they haven't seen one on the road or they just really never heard of it. And I don't blame them, because up to date, Tesla has sold about at least 2.5 million vehicles globally, so it would make sense that Tesla is still not available in their markets, or they just haven't seen one on the road because they just love the gasolines too much. So what really is Tesla? Well, we all know Tesla as the electric car company. Heck, even Google thinks so. But is it really though? You see, although Tesla's main product is the electric cars, they are a lot more than that. A lot more than that. Aside from selling solar panels, storing energy, selling insurance, they are a data and a technology company. If you've been following Tesla closely, you would know this by their heavy investment towards AI. Things like their autopilot and robotaxi, which by the way, we will get into it separately because that idea is just insane. When you're a data company, you collect a lot of good rich data. And Tesla's been doing that through their electric cars. More specifically, through their customers and AI. Right now, Tesla has about 2.5 million cars at least on the road right now. And every single day, Tesla is collecting these informations and feeding the AI, which improves the algorithm. So one day, we probably don't even have to drive at all. You just get in your Tesla, put in your GPS where you want to go, and you just sit back and the car will go to your destination. I really don't know how I feel about that. But that's the plan. Now, the robo-taxis. If this becomes successful, Tesla and Tesla owners are gonna generate a lot of profit. Tesla is planning to launch a ride-hauling smartphone app that users can call up nearby Teslas. They can come to their location and take it to their destination. And there's literally no driver. It's all AI. And if this happens, and if this becomes reality and becomes successful, goodbye Uber and goodbye Lyft. I mean, this is just insane. You can literally make money when you're not using the car. It'll just become another source of income, meaning that it'll just become another asset class for you guys. Meaning you can generate more money on a monthly basis. And the crazy thing is that you're not doing anything. You're just at home and you're just chilling and the car's going around making you money. Like, bruh. But this is just an idea, and although Elon Musk has promised that this will start late 2020, it hasn't happened yet. Most probably because of the pandemic and the practicality of the service, but he seems to be very optimistic and keen, so let's see what happens. But if this becomes reality, I'm telling you, man, this is just a crazy amount of net profit for them. Now, I do also want to point out that Tesla's mission is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. And guys, I can't tell you enough how important this really is. You see, guys, I am a very heavy investor in the renewable energy and clean energy market. In fact, 60% of my entire portfolio is invested in renewable energy stocks and companies because that's the future. Due to global warming and overall just thinking that we're gonna have oil forever and depending on it is just not a good long-term scope. And honestly, what better way to make money by using natural sources like the sun and wind, which by the way is free, they don't charge us, and they're always around. And at the same time, not polluting the earth. I think it's a fantastic idea, and the fact that Tesla's goal is to accelerate this, honestly, I'm all in. Speaking of going all in, should you now go all in? Let's dive into this price prediction and let's see what it says. Alright, so let's assume right now that the current stock price is $600 per share. And in all of 2020, what Tesla has generated in revenue was about $31.5 billion and 621 net income, which is, I think, was the first year that they actually provided a net income. With the shares outstanding of 960 million, with an EPS of 75 cents, with a forward PE of almost 800, which is just absolutely insane. It's crazy, but prior to this, it was about 1,000. Now, right now, it's sitting at 500 or 600 PE. So based off the Q1 2021, it's heading the right way, and I'm sure the PE is going to keep going lower and lower to the point where it gets stabilized and we can rely on it to do our further predictions even stronger. So at the end of 2020, Tesla's stock price was about over 600 with a market cap with almost $600 billion, which by the way, it's just insane because if you have $31.5 billion in just revenue and you got almost $600 billion in market cap, that's just crazy. I mean, if any analysts look at this, it's completely overvalued. It's insane. But the fact that Tesla has a lot of stuff coming up and it's changing the world in the right way, we can see why it's not really that bad. So I looked around on the internet to see what the revenue and net income will be for Tesla for the next 5 years. And the best place that I found that gave good details was Simply Wall Street. So I used Simply Wall Street from 2021 to 2025 to see what the revenue and net profit was. And I put it all here. It's saying by 2021 it should be about 50 billion, and then 2022 should be at 66 billion, and then 84 billion, and then 107 billion, and 125 billion by 2025, with the net profit increasing year over year. I just don't agree with 2024 and 2025. It's saying there's going to be a dip. I'm not too sure on what they are basing their forecast with, but Tesla is still a very young company and we still don't know exactly how much they're capable of. Everything is just forecasted and predicted. So we're going to make a second scenario after this one. Finding the shares outstanding is important because that's what's going to determine the EPS, and the EPS is going to determine the forward PE, and the forward PE is going to determine the stock price. In order to forecast or predict their shares outstanding, I looked at their shares outstanding since 2017. And when we look at the 2017 till now, it is increasing year over year and quarter over quarter. So what I did was that I took all this number, I went to Excel and I wrote it all down here quarter by quarter to see how much they were increasing their shares outstanding. And from 2017 all the way to end of 2020, it's been around growing an average quarterly at just over 1%, but we're doing this yearly. So let's see what their yearly shares outstanding will look like. So I took all the quarters, added it all up, and then I got the difference between 2017 and 2018. It was 2.3%, and then it was almost 5% from 2018 to 2019. From 2019 to 2020 was about 6%. So they're increasing it big time. Their average yearly increase of shares outstanding was about 4.4%, but let's be conservative and let's say 6% every year they're going to increase it. I honestly think it's a bit more than that, but let's stick to 6%. Putting the 6%, we get all these numbers. And once we divide the net income with the shares outstanding, we get the EPS. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty good. The EPS does look pretty good, which drags down the PEs big time from 800 to less than 200. And then so on and so forth every year up until 2025. Now that's from 2021 to 2025 predicted. Now we need to find out from 2026 to 2030. And this is where it becomes a bit tricky, but all we can do is estimate or guesstimate intelligently. And that's how I did it here. So when we look at the revenue increase from 2021 to 2020, it was about 57% increase. And then it was 35%, then 26%, then 27%, then 18%. So what this tells us that year over year, their growth seems to be declining bit by bit, but I really don't agree with this, but let's keep going forward. see what they got. And here's the year-over-year percentage difference in the revenue. Now, when we look at the net income from 2021 to 2020, there was a 5 times increase. As we can see, 621 million to 3.4 billion. That's pretty impressive. But from 2022 to 2021, only 75% increase. And then the year after that, 37%, 28%. And then from 2024 to 2025, it seems to be a stagnation, or actually less, which again, I don't agree with. It kind of doesn't make any sense. But again, Tesla right now, it's really hard to predict what their forecast is going to be, because right now they're just in the very beginning stages. So based off these two predictions, I went conservative and I said, okay, from 2026 or 2025 to 2030, every year they should grow at least by 20%. Based off all the things that they have, the solar panels, electric cars, the insurance. At the end of the day, this is a growing market, so it shouldn't stagnate as much. And because it's a Tesla, they're the king of the kings right now, they shouldn't be able to stagnate this much. Especially when their CEO, Elon Musk, is freaking creative and just innovative. So I just don't see it being less than 20%. When we plug that into the prediction, we get all this. About 2030, they should be making 311 billion in sales, which honestly, I think it's a lot more than that by then. And with the net profit or the net income, I went conservative again. Simply Wall Street is saying just below 31%, but I'm gonna say 20% just to be conservative, just to be on the safe side, just in case. And this is the net income that we get from 2026 to 2030. Again, I don't agree with this. I think it's a lot more than this, to be honest with you. And that's why we're gonna have a scenario B in just a minute. Now let's find out the stock prices for 2021 to 2030. Usually the PE ratio becomes very key here when we find it, but the problem is Tesla's PE ratio is all over the place. I couldn't find a stable price for Tesla. When we look at this graph, we can see the PE was like literally 0 just before 2020, because that's when they were starting making some profit. And as we can see, it skyrocketed over 1,000, and now it's slowly coming down to 500, 600, because now they're showing the proof, they're showing the profits to back up their PE slowly. So soon we're gonna get a stabilizing PE, but until then we have to speculate and guess what is a good PE ratio so we can base the Tesla price too. And knowing me, I had to keep it safe. I have to be on the safe side, be conservative, because just in case. And I picked a PE ratio of 200. Comment down below if you guys agree if 200 is a good, I don't know, PE for Tesla. When I look at it now, right now, as of now, I don't think 200 seems to be fair, but I'm gonna give it 200 just to be conservative, because I like to be on the safe side and just in case. And based off the 600 PE that we gave it, in end of 2021, the price should be just below 700 shares, which is honestly, I don't think it's gonna be there. It's gonna be a lot higher than that in my opinion. Going to 2022 is gonna be just over $1,100. 2023 is gonna be close to $1,500. 2024 is going to be $1,750. 2025 is going to be $1,600. 2026 is going to be just over $1,800. 2027 is gonna be just under $2,100. 2028 is gonna be $2,300. 2029 is going to be 2 666s, and by 2030 is gonna be over $3,000 with a market cap of $5.1 trillion. Now, I know most of you guys are gonna sit there and say, hold on a minute. I'm hearing by 2025, ARK, Chicken Genius, that the price is gonna be at least $4,000. And just by looking at ARK's Invest, for example, they're saying by 2025, their expected value is going to be 3,000 and their bull case is 4,000. Now, how are they getting this number? What kind of intel they have to find this number? I have no idea. But in order for the expected value of their 3,000 in 2025, the net income needs to be around $19.5 billion, which is literally almost double. So when ARK is seeing this, that they're gonna make that much money at that time, there's something missing. There's something that simple Wall Street is not putting in their prediction. Now I get 2021, their total revenue and net income, what simply Wall Street is estimating and forecasting, it seems to be realistic. But going forward, I think Tesla's gonna do a lot more than that. And you know what? I found this article over here that's predicting how much Tesla is going to be selling on a yearly basis, how much vehicles they're going to be selling, which I think is very important to note. You can see by 2025, they're going to sell this over 5 million cars in a year, which is just crazy. And so you know what I did? Here is scenario B of analysis or analytics of the price prediction. And we're going to go based off this chart here in terms of sales. And then we can figure out the net profit, how much it is conservatively, because again, I like to be safe and mean it just in case. and see what ARK is seeing that we are not. I think this will help a lot. Okay, so there's a very important note that you guys should take note, that this is only just the sales from their vehicles. Nothing else, not their insurance, not their solar panels, not their robo-taxi if that comes into play. This is just purely from their vehicles and cars. That's it, nothing else. So this is being conservative on conservative if this forecast is right. So let's see what we get starting from 2021. So 2021, they're saying they're going to sell just under 800,000 cars. We're going to multiply this by 45,000 because we're going to assume that every car they're going to sell is going to be an average of $45,000. And here we get $35.7 billion. A lot less than the 2021 prediction, but that's okay. Let's see how this is going to end up. And regarding their net income, let's be conservative and let's say 10% of whatever their revenue is. In 2022, it seems that they're going to sell just below 1.3 million cars, and that gives them $56.8 billion in sales. 2023 being over 2 billion vehicles sold, that gives us $90.3 billion. 2024 is almost 3.2 billion cars, which is absolutely insane. The scalability is just absolutely crazy here. And this gives us just below $144 billion in sales, with about 14 billion in net profit, which stock price is slowly getting there. In 2025 is going to be a magnificent of over 5 million cars sold, which is crazy and insane, which kind of does make sense given the fact that Tesla is now slowly moving into markets all around the world. So just over 5 million vehicles sold, and multiply this by 45,000, we get 228 billion in sales, which is just crazy just off their cars. And based off that, if retail investors at that time accept 200 PE ratio as a good point or a fair PE ratio at that time, the stock price should be $3,556, and that aligns with ARK Invest saying that their expected value was $3,000 and their bullish was $4,000. I'm guessing if we increase that to $26 billion, which I'm guessing that's going to come from the other sources of income that it has, and that's going to be their most bullish scenario of $4,000. Here is a quick comparison from both of them, how it looks like in just 2025. And let's see how this will look like going forward to 2030. And by 2030, it seems to be 6,000. But hey, if Tesla is growing at this rate from now to 2025 based off this forecast, then by 2030, it's going to be a hell lot more than what it is now. Maybe 10,000 per share if they keep growing at this rate, which I kind of think, if this forecast is true, they will. Here's a chart how it looks like. We can see that big bump in 2025 going up because of the amount of cars they're selling. It seems like scenario A that we did is the bear case, and the scenario B seems to be the expected value, and the bull case, but in the middle. So I guess we can see how this is going to play out in the future. But at the end of the day, guys, this is only a prediction. So things can always go wrong or go right, better than expected or worse than expected. There's only a prediction that we get from facts and real information online. But always do your due diligence before you get into a stock. Now, let's talk about some issues that I have. An issue that I have with Tesla is that they make a lot of money from selling carbon credits to a lot of other car makers that fall short on these. It's like kind of getting an award and then selling them to make some money. That's how Tesla's making some of their profits. However, it seems to be only 5% of their entire revenue, so if they can keep it controlled around there or even lower, I'm okay with. Because we need to see Tesla making more money, more profit from selling their vehicles than from rewards. Another matter that I have with Tesla is the fact that they purchased $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and then selling 10% of it. And then Elon Musk saying that the energy that Bitcoin is generating is not clean, and then he doesn't support it as much, and then the whole market crashes. Can we just stop for a second and just point out the fact that this man has too much power on Twitter? This guy can literally influence the entire market in just a couple words on Twitter. Can we just make a note of that? Because that's just crazy. This guy is too powerful, man. I mean, that's why Dogecoin is freaking insane right now. Now, when it comes down to cryptocurrencies, guys, I'm not really too educated on it, but I am learning every day. And honestly, every day that I learn about it, I understand what Bitcoin is and overall what cryptocurrency is. It's becoming very clear why these institutions and Tesla are buying these cryptocurrencies. And that's because Bitcoin is becoming more of a commodity, a place where you can store your value, store your cash somewhere, kind of like gold, but digital. Although all they gotta do is just unplug the whole machine and that's it. Poof, it's gone. It's very unlikely to happen, but it's never zero. But ever since countries around the world and 40% of all of the US dollar was created in 2020, it seems very obvious why such a thing is happening. I mean, at the end of the day, every year the dollar and any currency around the world loses value, and because of all 2020 and because of all the printing that has happened in 2020, it makes sense why people are running to gold, running to cryptocurrency so they can hold their value or increase it over time. By the way, guys, if you want me to talk more about cryptocurrencies, just comment down below. Don't forget to like. All in all, I do now like the fact that Tesla bought some Bitcoin, because over time, Bitcoin price is gonna keep climbing higher and higher. Alright, conclusion. Should you guys buy Tesla? Duh, of course you guys should. But if you guys are gonna buy it, don't buy it for 3 months and sell it, or 6 months, or 9 months, or a year, or 2 years. If you guys are gonna buy Tesla, you will see the fruit in 5 to 10 years, as we just saw in the prediction. Look guys, Tesla is a revolutionary company. It's literally part of the 4th industrial revolution, where we're going to see the shift and the transition to renewable energy to combat climate change and global warming, which, by the way, is the single biggest threat to humanity right now. So whoever can fix this problem is gonna become very, very wealthy. And since Tesla's goal is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, it falls perfectly into place. Guys, Tesla is here to change the world whether you like it or not. So you might as well invest in it and be part of the process, and over time make a decent capital and feel good about it with your Lambos. I know it's kind of ironic, but hey, we all here for the Lambos. And guys, the long-term scope or aspect of Tesla is so bright. I mean, they're just getting started. And I have a very strong feeling we're gonna see surprises, good surprises from Tesla in the near future, and so on. So yes, I would definitely buy some Tesla shares and put it in the long-term portfolio and enjoy the fruit 5 to 10 years from now. In my case, if you guys are wondering, I am planning to buy more as there's a major dip, because Tesla is a no-brainer for me. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep going until I hit 100 shares or something, because I love Tesla. It's gonna be a fantastic fruit in the next 5 to 10 years. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, smash that like button. Check out the Amazon stock prediction. That one was actually pretty good because we have solid data, and that was just a great prediction to do. And so check that out if you guys haven't. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think. Subscribe for more of these videos, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.